Supercuts in Barrie has taken on 2 new co-op students from Innisdale. We met up with them at the store.
I'm working as a co-op student, high school co-op student at Supercuts, and I'm basically learning how to work with customers, learning about the life of a hairstylist. I wanted to get the experience of hairstyling and see if I'd like it or not to pursue onto my career. To be totally honest, all I expected was to be just sweeping the floor and cleaning up after the style, because my teacher even told me that every place that they've had co-op students at, that's all they've been doing. But that's all I expected, but I ended up doing so much more than that, which is actually pretty awesome.
I really wanted to make a bigger impression on them, so they could be on the floor actually working with customers, because if you don't have hands-on experience, you really don't get the feel of what it's about. So
Arlena, who I work with, who is the director of Supercuts, is teaching me how to do, I've done a blunt haircut, I've learned how to do a layered haircut, I've learned how to do a perm, I've learned how to do different styles like straighten and curling, so I've learned a lot of things on a mannequin. My first haircut I learned was a blunt straight haircut, which is straight across the bottom, and then I learned a layered haircut, and we learned how to do a layered haircut where there's the top is shorter and then long. And we straightened this one to be able to show what it's like so you can see like the layers. And then on the other side I did a pinned curl so that you could see the different effects of what it would be like with different hairstyles. So I did a curl and then I pinned it in. And when I took them out, I hairsprayed it first and then I let it out and let it be more volume. So I got to test different kind of hairstyles.
I've been going over hair cutting, sectioning, hair cutting, teaching them how to use the comb and the scissors and to hold them, taking sectionings and how important that is, the procedures of going through the haircut. So it's more technical than people would think it is.
It takes a lot of practice. It's not easy at all. Like, you have to really know doing, and it's really hard to be able to know to keep the scissors in your hand and the comb in your hand to be able to know what you're doing through it all. Like, it's really hard. It takes a lot of work. Yeah, having the scissors in your hand and learning to flip them in and out is kind of difficult, and the comb in your hand at once. That's hard to get used to. The first time that I ever learned how to do only styling, I've been working with other people. When I learned how to do a curling haircut with the curling iron, then I did it on my friend that night. Like, I practiced it on her, and she really liked it. So it was pretty good. I guess I learned something. Getting into the actual store and doing hands-on work like this gives you the actual experience than just in class.
I mean, I've been talking to them, and I've seen little questions here and there, and I think that they didn't realize that there was more to it than just standing behind the chair. I think I've opened their eyes. I hope I have anyways.
And I personally cannot learn from being told about something or reading about something. I have to actually be doing it. And so I heard a lot about hairstyling, and from what I heard it sounded really good, but I couldn't know enough if I wanted to do that from just being told. So I chose to do a co-op placement so that I could actually be doing hands-on work.
Well, that's it for the rest of this week. I'd like to thank all the staff and students we visited for their hospitality. If you want us to hang out at your school or have an idea for the show, drop us a line at therush@rogerstv.com. And hey, check out the website for some exclusive footage you won't see anywhere else. Help MSS win the money for their outdoor classroom. Log on to www.majesta.com and cast your vote. I'm Brianna Booth, and I'll see you next week on The Rush.